Okay, as for today's video, something interesting happened. Now I found the actual cure for all of this. I don't know if who's gonna see this or what or anybody, because I know that they like to suppress people's YouTube videos, but I suspect my situation has gotten to a very grim level at this point because the level of threats from the people around me seems to have escalated dramatically at this point, and it's getting to the point to where like they are really getting pissed off because I found the cure to these directed energy weapons. I found various different tactics that can be used to both desensitize yourself from it and also not just that, but also hang on. There we are. Hope everybody's day yesterday. As you wonder, my eyes are a bit tired because I just got off of work. So yeah, gonna go back here. As you can see, the EMF meter is still on. But yeah, what happened today was that I've actually found the cure to the directed energy weapons, but I believe that the threats of the people around me have gotten a lot more severe because what's starting to go on now is that it's an attempt as far as a scapegoat situation. So from what I believe is that a lot of the attempts that they started to do, a lot of the desperation at this point, like their tactics just don't work on me anymore. It just doesn't even work at this point. Like none of it does. And the gang stalkers at my job, they got super pissed because of this. And I just so happened to know, I just so happened to get into this encounter with my family. Right, there was this encounter with my family, and the situation with that was my aunt, my brother, and my aunt's boyfriend, and whoever was in there, which I found very, very suspicious because I didn't know who the heck was in that other car. And judging from how my aunt was reacting, like I don't even think she was expecting whoever that was to pull up. So I'm trying to figure out like who the heck was, like I don't know who the heck that was. Now there's something about my situation you need to understand. I found out that the charger that my aunt had given me when I went to go spend a night over there last time, it was a it was not the type of charger you would want to put in your phone, basically, and it was one that actually uploads a malware virus onto your phone. I had that situation happen, and I had another situation as I was spending the night there, all the way up into the morning. What happened was there were sensitizations going on, like the same stuff that was happening out in the halls here at my unit, on the outside in the hallway, right? How someone would just be like tapping on the floor. The same thing was happening there. And I knew it was only three people in that house, myself, my aunt, and her boyfriend. So someone was doing that every now and then. The fact that I saw the charger, I'm not gonna I gotta thank a good friend of mine. His channel is actually I gotta look up his channel. But I'm gonna leave it down in the comment section. I gotta really thank him for his effort because he helped me realize about this. And I believe like if I had not have caught on to this when I did, the situation would have gotten like a lot worse. So what happened was my aunt and her boyfriend and my whoever it was, they all pulled up while I'm on my way to my job. Now this happened around the exact same time that I'm coming from my job all the way to my apartment. And my question is this: they didn't stop me at my. If they were really looking for me, they didn't stop me at my job. They did not stop me at my job. I would understand that. No, they stopped me when I was halfway over to my unit, to my apartment complex. So I'm like, they knew exactly when I was walking off. So I'm like, something's kind of strange about this. Something was really strange. And before I had left my before I had left my job, I noticed two government-looking vehicles in the lot of the of this large motel complex that is literally down the street from my apartment complex. Right? I noticed that, and I didn't pay no mind to it. I just kept on walking or whatever, and I kept minding my own business. Now, the thing about this, right, is that from what she's telling me, she was going like, I got concerned about you or whatever. I haven't heard from you for like several days. And you gotta understand, after that situation happened, it was another situation where my cousin pulled me over to his friend's house. I'm thinking I'm going to a barbershop. I'm going to this dude's house in a very, very sketchy neighborhood. And I was questioning the situation because I didn't trust any of that. Something just felt off. Something really felt off. So I told him, just take me to a nearby barbershop by the Walmart or whatever, or at the Walmart or whatever. So I just did that. So he takes me down there. Mind you, my cousin's carrying two different phones this entire time. Two different phones. That's something that Perp does. So he doesn't go into the barbershop. He stays in there. And it's like it's a lot of very covert behavior going on. The same behavior that I've had going on with my gang stalkers, right? So it just seems like they were all like, it seems like an everyday thing, like it was happening as I'm leaving from my job to my apartment. So I think what they did was they didn't want a whole bunch of people, being aware of this, of what's going on. So I'm reaching out as best I can right now because my situation has gotten really bad. As far as I know, I think they were threatening my family members at this point, and that was their attempt to get out of this. That was basically them seeking to get, to have no involvement with this. So basically, if I ever was on my own, yeah, I'm definitely on my own at this point. But I already know, with the word of Jesus Christ, we all are not on our own. We are not all on our own. The devil's influence will want you to believe that, but in reality, we're all are not. So, yeah, I'm trying my hardest to reach out right now to let everybody else know who's going through this. I found out the cure for the direct energy weapons. I know how to cure that. I've got it all in my videos and everything like that, but they have been suppressing a lot of my communications because they don't want other people who are going through this to know. They just don't. So I'm gonna continue taking videos, or whatever. I'm gonna continue documenting this, but I suspect that my mom really was going through this exact same thing. This exact same thing. And the thing about my childhood that was so off, the other reason why I suspect I was going through this from such a young age is because every school I was going to, even for my first time of school that I can still remember, after kindergarten, I can remember like I was always kept in the suspension of not learning anything. I ended up going to school not even know how to tie my own shoes because no one taught me how to do it, and it actually was a random person at the school who did it. I don't know if they knew my current situation or not, or what was going on back then, but I swear to you, every time I was going to a school, it was like everything was being suppressed. Everything was being immediately suppressed. I don't know as far as to why. I don't even know as far as how much or how long this was going on, but I started to I honestly believe this is definitely a situation going on as far as my childhood is concerned. And as far as the V2K and EMF stuff that was going on, that stuff didn't really kick in until like I started to turn into a teenager. And what was odd was that like certain particular scenarios from certain shows that I watched in the past, they would immediately just bump out of nowhere into my memory, and I'm like, where's this even coming from? And at the exact same time, when I get ready to watch TV or something like that, right? like the old Saturday night cartoons or whatever. I know some things were run a marathon, but it's like as soon as I would get home and flip on the TV, that exact scene of that exact same episode would be on television. So I found that kind of bizarre. It was several situations like that, as far as the nausea, the passing out, the paralysis that I had when I was laying down. A lot of this stuff was happening all the way from then, from when I was younger, and it wasn't until like when I first realized this V2K stuff was this EMF direct energy attacks could actually take and it actually allows them to take control over your body. A lot of people don't realize this because I don't know if they've actually been through that or not. Only very few have, but as far as from what I found out, looks like they're turning the meter down. But from as far they're turning it way down. But from as far as I found out, from what I found out, the that stuff is no joke, man. That as far as what the virus that they're exposing people to, I believe it was called Candida or Candida, something like that. I believe it's Candida with two N's, I think. I'm gonna leave the name in the description. Now, what that stuff is, it's basically a bacterial type virus that spreads itself throughout the body's system. And I apologize for the loud beep. If you can just bear with me here, I'm gonna turn that down. I gotta plug up my charger here, and I can't plug this one up to that because this phone's been somewhat compromised. So with the stuff they got on here, I can't afford to mix up my chargers. But yeah, that stuff is a type of fungus that spreads itself from in both the intestines, the stomach, and then it grows itself around the entire body's system until it eventually gets into your bloodstream. Now, I started looking at that, and I started looking at the Magellan disease, and I actually started to find a connection with both that and both the two in nanites. And the thing about the Magellan disease is that iodine kills it. The thing about the other problem was, like, I had something at the time to get rid of the Magellan stuff that they were using along with the nanites, but at the same time I didn't have what the other part that I need, because I knew that no matter how many times I was breaking free from that whatever that stuff they were exposing us to, it was always something else that was in the way. And then I realized when I did my research on Zakaos, if you don't know, his name is Zakaos, right? Zakaos. He ended up working on the Rife machine, as far as dealing with certain frequencies that actually help cure this stuff and the toxins, as far as the pathogens that they use on people in order to get them sedated onto this program, fully sedated with this stuff. So the thing, unfortunately for him, he ends up moving over to thinking he's going to be safe. Unfortunately, he only had one of the cures, but the problem is you need both. If you actually want to break free from this stuff, you need both. You can't do it with one. And unfortunately, what happened to him is he moved over to one of the 9 eyes looking to go for asylum. But what ended up happening was they rejected him, obviously, because they were in league with the same people that were putting him through this. He was also Zakaos, the guy who, if you don't know who this guy is, look him up on YouTube, look him up on Google, anywhere, and type in V2K alongside it, and you'll see his work. I owe a depth of gratitude to that individual, man. I really do. But yeah, if you look at his journal logs, he ends up going on how he ended up trying to move over to Canada, tried to file for asylum. They rejected him. He got deported back to the states, and unfortunately, they used the nanites and all that technology stuff to take him out. He had the ingredient to get rid of the Candida virus, but he didn't have the stuff to get rid of the Magellan virus. Unfortunately, he didn't have the. He definitely didn't have that recipe. So because of that, he ended up dying from a mysterious heart attack. Um, Now, I've heard situation scenarios and all that. Now, I'm not even being a conspiracy theorist here. I'm only going based off the research that I have tracked down and looked for, and I owe a debt of gratitude to so many people who have gone through this. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to a lot of people who have who have truly helped me out and truly helped me get through this. This situation is a lot more sinister than I realized, and I still want to be able to help as many people as I possibly can because I'm telling you, I seriously doubt they ever want this information to get out. Unfortunately for them, like so much information has already gotten out. So as you would know, they're very sloppy when it comes to keeping their secrets tied down. But yeah, the situation's crazy. The situation is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna see if it'll let me do this. Try to find it here. Yeah, Candida, that's it. Now, when you see the symptoms of this, right, you're gonna realize that these symptoms are similar to the EMF directional weapons that they're using on you. As you see now, unfortunately, that is true. Many types of fungi live in and out of the human body, in and on the human body. But the thing about Candida, right? They're saying it's within your system, but your immune system tries to keep it in check. The fact that something like this I don't know exactly where its original origin comes from. It could be through some of the stuff we're exposed to on a daily basis. But what happened to me before my EMF situation started to happen, this is what happened basically. I ordered a pizza. Now, mind you, the stalking and stuff was already going on way before this. The last time I ordered a Domino's pizza, and this is what happened when I ordered a pizza and some hot wings. I tasted the stuff, right? And for some reason, it felt like I was tasting static electricity. It was super weird. Like I thought I was just like I thought it was just the heat from the hot wings that was doing that. So I didn't pay no mind to what I ate it all. And sooner or later, I go downstairs the next morning because I'm getting ready to go to work, and I hear two of the gang stalkers, before I even knew they were gang stalkers, go off talking about yeah, he ate it or whatever, right? So I found that suspicious, and then sure enough, a little bit after that, the EMF stuff started to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna go too far in that as I've already have, but I believe that when they inject you with nanites, they inject you with both a little bit. I don't even think they even have to inject you with Magellan since they're like spraying that everywhere. But I believe they inject you with Candida as well as nanites, and that's what this was when I got sedated with this stuff. So they basically laced my food with that. But I find it very odd how like as um just as soon as I had started to cure myself of this, that my family would immediately show up, and judging by the past behaviors of what was going on, it started to become more and more obvious. So I'm not taking credit for this thing right here. I'm only showing you this because if it says take antibiotics, I'm gonna let you know you really don't want to do that. But I'm only going based off of a lot of stuff that I know. You can do that, but the thing is, like with a lot of the products that they put in stuff nowadays, I would recommend, like if you do have to take some type of antibiotic, I would recommend immediately looking at its ingredients on what's in there, and then go based off your own comfortable judgment. That's as best of a tip on that that I can give. Now, oh wait, no, I take that back. These are the things that can lead it. So taking antibiotics can lead to that. Eating a diet high in sugar and refined carbs, such as high fructose corn syrup, and eating stuff like GMO, all that stuff leads up to that. And unfortunately, before I even realized I was a target individual, like I was eating a lot of that stuff, a lot. Okay, so that was that. As far as high alcohol intake, I was constantly buying beer just about every week. I had to stop doing that so I could get rid of this. A weakened immune system. Technically, when you start eating all of that stuff, it does weaken your immune system. Taking oral contraceptives. Not sure what that is. Diabetes. With all the sugar I was eating, I think that may have trying to trigger that. And high stress levels. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When you wonder like why they try to sensitize you a lot, that's one of the key points right there I want you to see. High stress levels. Remember that, because you're going to see a little bit more things that are going to open your eyes out to this. Okay, so when Candida begins to overproduce, it can lead to various health problems. This article explores 7 symptoms of Candida overgrowth and how you can treat it. Oral thrush. Candida that develops in the mouth or throat is called thrush. It's most common in newborns and elderly and those with a weakened immune system. Now, if you don't know, for all of you who are going through that directional energy attacks, that's the feeling that you're getting when that stuff is in your mouth. That's basically what that is. And it's not just the Candida that's in there, it's the nanites working as well as the Magellan. So what I usually do for that is I take a cup of water, and I put some either some baking soda, some iodized sea salt, and then I mix that up, and then I wash my mouth out with it, and then that just takes care of that. I'm really gonna have to check my stuff, because I don't know if because judging by the past things that have happened, I don't know if they even laced any of my stuff with anything. They could have done that for all I know. Maybe they didn't, but I'm still going based off the scenarios about this. Considering that I've heard the rumors how the police are behind that stuff, and how also like the FBI is behind this kind of stuff, I'm going based off from what I've learned from my research. So I'm fairly certain some of my stuff may have been laced or something like that. It seems very obvious that something like that has happened, because I find it very non-obvious how like some of the stuff in that before would happen, and all of a sudden, as soon as I start finding what the real cure is, everybody just jumps up, and all of a sudden people start popping up out of nowhere. So at this point, yeah. But anyway, on to the next. Individuals with poor oral hygiene or removable dentures are also at an increased risk. So if what you want to do is do not use regular toothpaste, because yes, they do put stuff, but unfortunately toxic byproducts in there too. Just start brushing your teeth with baking soda. That's as best as I can tell you. Honestly, they man, they really fuck with your stuff. I'm honestly, I really shouldn't be saying that on YouTube, but I don't know. Anyway, hopefully Jesus and God will forgive me for that one. That one is slip. I'm getting there though. I'm definitely getting there to where I don't even swear anymore. But it's taking its toll, and it's taking its time. But I'm getting there. Now, yeah, as you can see, people with oral thrush can develop white, bumpy patches on their tongue, inner cheeks, gums, tonsils, or throat. The lesions can be painful and bleed slightly when scraped. Oral thrush is also often associated with redness or soreness of the tongue and mouth. In very bad cases, it can spread to the esophagus, cause pain or difficulty swallowing. That's what that you see. That's that pain that you will get in your neck at certain times. That's technically things doing that. Now they're gonna try to say that that's precisely what this is, but they're really hiding the actual thing that causes it. But basically, Candiditis is a pathogenical fungus connected with Magellan as another fungus to basically house these nanites that gets exposed to your system when they actually lace your food with it. Now, when there is too much Candida in the mouth, it can cause white bump. Yeah, we already went through that. Tiredness and fatigue. That's the next key point I wanted to show you. That the tiredness and fatigue that you get, um, again, they're trying to blame this Candida stuff for that. I'm telling you, and that's where it gets to the point of the directed energy weapons. That's another form of that, and they're trying to basically blame it on a disease that they intentionally give you for that. So the tiredness and fatigue is due to overexertions of this, and it could be due to the overgrowth of it because I noticed that a lot like you would end up if you ever like from my experience whenever I would like try to go to sleep, um that stuff that would be beaming down and everything, right? Like that stuff that would just be beaming down would just it would start to burn a little bit. This is before I started to find a lot of the stuff that treats this. It would start to burn a tad bit, and it would wake you right, like literally, it would wake you up immediately. And there's a bit more to it than that, but yeah, some people would actually go through that. She has been known to cause fatigue. Second, Candida infections commonly occur when the immune system is weakened, and a low functioning immune system in itself may leave you feeling tired and fatigued. One study suggests that prolonged Candida the gut may have a potential cause chronic fatigue symptoms. Now, this is going to get into an even more grim situation as I keep reading through this. Candiditis is most common in individuals with a weakened immune system and may be accompanied by various nutritional deficiencies. This can leave you feeling tired and fatigued. Recurring genital or urinary tract infections. Candida is found in now that's for females. An overgrowth can lead to candiditis of the vagina, also known as a yeast infection. It's estimated that certain home will get at least a yeast infection in their life. Men can also get genital yeast, but it's much less common. Symptoms of bad. Yeah. Urinary tract infection. Symptoms of UTI, including a burning feeling when you urinate or frequent urge to urinate. Now, I've actually did have a UTI a long time ago, so I could have been exposed to this whole thing a lot later on than I realized. As far as E. coli, I never had that before. However, if you suffer from recurring infection, believe that there was something you can have your urinary tested to find out. Candida can cause genital and urinary tract infections, both of which can lead to pain and discomfort. Digestive issues. I've heard some people going through V2K have digestive issues, or this could have been a thing that has been happening, like from before. Don't know. But with everybody being exposed to this stuff, it's really hard to tell. But let's see, sinus infections. That's what I have. That's what I got right now. Like my nose feels like it's clogged up right now. Skin and nail infections. As far as the skin thing is concerned, those pins and needle fillings that you get. That's what that is. But again, like they're trying to. If you can't tell, I'm telling you, read this for yourself. Scroll down, read it for yourself. Take some time and actually go based off your symptoms and what you've been going through. As you can see, a lot of this stuff is obviously related. So the joint pain that also, if infection enters your bloodstream and travels through your body, it can infect the joints and cause arthritis. Makes you wonder as to why that happens around the same time you get community gang stalked. So we got the fatigue, we got the tiredness, we got all that other stuff that you've been seeing. Now, the food you eat plays an important role in maintaining the balance of good and bad bacteria in your gut. Refined sugars, carbs, and high lactose dairy products can encourage candida and other bad microorganisms to grow inside your body. Now, eating too many of these foods may promote infections if you have a suppressed immune system. On the other hand, certain foods have specifically been shown to encourage good bacteria to grow and have the growth of candida. The following foods have been shown to help fight candida: garlic, the stuff that I use now. And again, it wasn't until like I had actually started to buy that the situation that happened today ended up happening. Coconut oil, have not tried it yet, but I will. Uh, Curcumin, I've never heard of that, but I will look that up. Xylitol, not sure what that is. And it says a test tube study. Aloe vera is the same stuff that I use for my apartment. Oh, you gotta forgive me. I just got off of work, but anyway, as far as aloe vera is concerned, the radiation that they try to pump into your apartment, your condo, or your house, you want to get the large, fully grown aloe vera plants, because that stuff absorbs that radiation that they try to pump in. And as that's happening, what happens is, excuse me. What happens is that stuff absorbs it, so it's a lot more comfortable living in your unit or your house. If you have a house, you're gonna need a lot more than what I got. I'm telling you right now. Always get the medicinal ones, because those are the best ones. You want to have that, and you want to have the app known as N8 State. Now, I'm not the developer for this app, if you're wondering, because I noticed, I did see it on Google. They try to charge you $1. I don't know if that's for support. Normally I would buy that, but in my situation, I didn't have much funds at the time. So what I did was I went over to Aptoid, and I realized that they had it on there for free. But I will warn you, be careful what you download from Aptoid, because they already got it written in the disclaimer. So that's why you always want a virus protection and all that stuff, just in case. But as far as Aptoid is concerned, I downloaded it from there, and everything was just fine. But okay, so as you can see, this is all the stuff you can use to fight against it. See, now Candida, or Candida, whatever they call it, is typically not life-threatening, but if left untreated, it can spread and eventually reach the bloodstream. Now, when it reaches the bloodstream, this is given a connection from all your major organs, as far as the heart, the intestines, the brain, the lungs, the muscles in your body. So you got to understand, they have something, they use a fungus to connect these nanites in your body. And they also use this fungus to not just connect the nanites, but they also use it to connect it to your major organs. This is how they're able to connect to you when they do this. And that's precisely what it is. It connects to you that way, and with the radiation that they're pumping down, it allows these things to manipulate the electromagnetic pulses going through your body, to use that as power for them to do what they're doing. And that's how this stuff mostly works. So basically, you want to make sure you live yourself have a non-toxified diet. That means no high fructose corn syrup. That means no GMO. That means no type of metallical substances that are known within food. I've actually bought a pack of gum before, and for some reason, when I looked under the ingredients, for some reason they put some type of form of titanium in there. Not exactly certain as to why, but they did. I'm also going to try to include that video to where I got cut off to see how much I was able to capture with that, just to see. But this is MMTI Strategy Guide. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm over and out.